Alright, so I'm driving right now. And while I'm driving, I want to use this to give my thoughts on the Game Awards in the end. So, I am pretty upset at The Last of Us winning. I mean, of course I am. But, was I surprised? No, I was not surprised. But here's my thing, right? Every single award on that list, except Best Narrative, I think, could have been won by Ghost of Tsushima. Every single one of them except for Best Narrative. And every single award on that list, I think, Final Fantasy VII Remake could have won. Every single one of them. And I think most of those, The Last of Us shouldn't have won. But instead, they gave every single one of them to The Last of Us, which is aren't you making it obvious? And everyone knows at this point, they say it's a 50-50 vote. But we all know at this point, it is a skewed 80-20 vote. And by 80-20, 20% makes up the fans. 80% makes up the blue check marks, Kotaku, game journalists, stuff like that. And that's kind of how this ended up happening. Now, for the awards, FF7 Remake got Best Soundtrack. I think it could have gotten everything. I think if it was a balanced award show, a fair and honest one, I think FF7 could have got everything except Best Art Direction, because I do think Ghost probably did deserve that more. But like I said, everything could have been won by that. It could have. But I think this was a properly done award show. FF7 could have claimed. It could have. But it got Best Soundtrack and Best RPG, and Ghost got Player's Choice, which is basically, yeah, it's Game of the Year, but we're overriding your opinion to say, but it's actually this, right? That's pretty much what that is. Yeah, you say it's Ghost of Tsushima, but we say it's The Last of Us, so it's The Last of Us, right? And Cuckman, you can look back on the stream if it's up, to see. I muted Cuck when I was like, you know what? I don't even think I want to listen to this guy. Muted Cuckman. I'm upset at it. I am. But see, the Game Awards to me, up until this year, was always the one award show I felt, you know what? It's credible. It's done good in the past. It's been accurate for a lot of stuff so far. And then this happened. And now it's to the point they took all that credibility I had for them, they took it out back with the shotgun and old yell at it. That's exactly what they did. And they old yell at that credibility. Because Game of the Year 2019, Sekiro, that's fine. 2019 wasn't an amazing year for gaming. It really wasn't. 2018, God of War. I've gone on record saying Red Dead 2 is the best game of 2018, but God of War deserved Game of the Year more, and Game Awards gave him Game of the Year. But this year it was, The Last of Us deserves some of them, but most of them are deserved by Ghost, Final Fantasy, and Ori. And instead, The Last of Us got everything. So, in 1 year, they old yelled every bit of trust. And another thing was, consistently the Game Awards have been pretty good with trailers and announcements and such. This year they were not, right? They showed nothing at all. You know what they showed? I can count it on one hand. They showed Nier Replicant. First thing they showed, I was like, oh, pretty neat. I probably won't play it, but it seems pretty cool. Next thing they showed that interested me, Sephiroth and Smash. I was like, oh, okay. That's really good. I'm really happy with that. If I had a Switch, I'd be completely down with it, because I plan to get a Switch eventually. So I'm really happy with that. And then they didn't show anything after that really got me. They showed one game, I was like, oh, this looks great. Oh, I'm sold. I'm gonna buy it. And then it was an MMO, and I'm like, are you kidding me? They just didn't show anything. What else did they even show? Monster Hunter? Yeah, that was cool. Monster Hunter's an MMO I could actually see myself playing. And then the big thing they were riding hard on for people to go nuts over was Mass Effect. And if you're riding hard on Mass Effect to save your show in the condition Mass Effect is in, I do hate to have to tell you this, but You kneecapped yourself. You didn't kneecap. You loaded the gun, held it to your face, and shot yourself clean through your skull. You completely ruined yourself there because you have completely lost everything at that point. You don't have any credibility now. Like, you've no credibility for your awards anymore, and now you have no faith that they're going to have any kind of decent game showing for the next one, right? Like, for the awards. Now it seems like we know, okay, the right developer makes it, it doesn't matter. So next year, Cyberpunk's got it in the bag. Completely in the bag, Cyberpunk 2077. 100%. Good, tell me I'm wrong. You can make trans characters, alright, it's already over. But, and then they also have lost the credibility or the faith that they can show something to get you excited, right? They've lost that too. Like, giving everything to The Last of Us, it can be forgiven if you show good enough games to really make up for the fact that you did that. To really make up that, yeah, the awards weren't great, but we showed Elden Ring, God of War, Lost Soul Aside, Resident Evil, Breath of the Wild. Like, we showed all this crazy stuff. But then they didn't do that either. So, and it goes vice versa. You can show no games, but if the awards are exactly as they should be, it can be forgiven to some extent. But it more so goes the other way, right? Like, the awards can't make up for a lack of games. But it was really nothing, right? Like, it was bad. I don't know how I'm going this. I'll probably keep talking until I get to where I'm going, but it was bad. And old Cuckman, of course, I had to mute him. I was like, after hearing his golden joysticks, his golden joystick speech, I had to cut him off. I was like, there's no way I could listen to this. I was beyond aggravated. I still am beyond aggravated. I'm not going to say the Game Awards is rigged, but I'll say it's a skewed vote. It's 100%, because they preach 50-50 vote. But then, most voted for Ghost of Tsushima, but forgive me. Most voted for Ghost, but then Last of Us Queen's House. So, like, really? You mean to tell me that it goes to The Last of Us when most people voted for, when Ghost of Tsushima gets the fan vote? Really? I don't know about that one now. I really don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying that The Last of Us is a bad game that deserved nothing, because it did deserve some things, but to say it deserved everything is a flat-out lie. It objectively did not deserve all it got. Best game direction was not The Last of Us Part 2. And they even foreshadowed it earlier. They said best action adventure. Usually the one that wins this for, 4 years in a row now, is the one that wins Game of the Year. Will that be the case? Wink. Like, yeah, of course it was. It's The Last of Us. Of course it was going to win, right? Like, and let's count the awards it got. Action adventure, that's subjective. It could be. I'm not sure. I think my personal pick was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. But best game direction, that was not The Last of Us, bro. That was not The Last of Us. That was either Ghost or Final Fantasy VII Remake. Best narrative, that was not The Last of Us. That was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Game of the Year, not The Last of Us. That was Ghost, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Eternal, something. Like, that was not The Last of Us Part 2. That much is certain. Like I said, we all knew it was going to be The Last of Us Part 2, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating when it happens. It really doesn't. I really hope the audio's been fine, because I'm driving. But, because, the car moving may have thrown it off. I don't know. I'm all kinds of aggravated at this point. It's just, their chivalry is laid out for all to see. Now, they were smart in some ways, because they didn't give The Last of Us literally everything. Best soundtrack was taken by Final Fantasy VII Remake, which honestly I'm fine with, because that honestly was a flip of a coin, a 50-50 between FF7 Remake and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That was a flip of a coin, 50-50, and it landed on FF7, so whatever. And best art design, that was a three-headed coin between Ghost of Tsushima, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Ghost of Tsushima got it. Right? If they had given The Last of Us everything, it'd be like the George Floyd thing, but for gaming. It would have been bad. But you best believe next year it's all gonna be Cyberpunk. Can you dim your lights, asshole? But, yeah. I don't know what I got to say other than I'm not very happy, not just with the awards. I would say I'm more aggravated at the lack of games shown. Like, the awards, I can forget the awards, because we all know all the award shows nowadays, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, now the Game Awards, it all doesn't matter at this point, right? It can all twist into win at this point. But when you don't show any games, it's like, really? You really just did that. You really showed nothing for 4 hours. Wow. I don't know. Anyways, that's the video. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my rant, like, subscribe, notifications, all that. I don't know. I'm upset at the lack of games. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. I guess just don't be hateful about it. Like I said, if you think Last of Us deserved everything, it's your opinion. You're allowed to have it. But I think I can objectively say nowadays, or right now, that they showed a lot of shit for the games. They didn't show anything anybody wanted, and that's really annoying. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, notifications, all that. And I reckon I'll see you in, when is this going up? Am I going to put this up just after the Game Awards, just as like a closing thoughts? And just do a video for tomorrow? I don't know. I'll decide when I upload this sometime. But I'll see you in the next video, I guess, because I don't know what I'm going to do next. Yeah. Take it easy.